Q. I write this letter to you so that on the days when rain clouds and grey skies threaten to offset the pink and orange hues that flood your bedroom on a sun-kissed afternoon, you'll close the open-ended questions left unanswered, where memories are left empty, as you search for what it is that sings to your soul. I pray you will let your imagination run free in the fields of your desires, where your fantasies find flight and your heart is warmed by comfort fires. For in your universe, there is no limit, no space left undefined, no bounds that can contain your spirit, and while pensive thoughts dance with delight, they paint a canvas of pure insight, created out of your curiosity. That's one of my favorites. Who is Daniel Haynes? That's such a deep question. I would say that Daniel Haynes is a writer. He's a Guyanese man, Guyanese kid at heart. Grew up chasing his dreams and is still doing the same. He's someone that loves telling stories and loves being around people, and he's an educator. If I could steal one thing from what my girlfriend says, is that I'm a tender boy. So that's Daniel Haynes. So favorite basketball player would have to be Russell Westbrook. And why? Well, why not? So at the same time, on the soccer side, it would be, I would have to say, if I'm going recent, as of right now, my favorite player is Marcus Rashford, but he's a bit down in the dumps right now. Not doing well, but all time it would have to be Ronaldinho, because how could you run away from artistry at work? Writing is one of those things that, yes, there's writer's block and you have to learn how to get over it, but writing isn't something that you do when the inspiration takes you. It's something that you have to constantly practice. So if you're in a state where you're writing, even if it's an hour a day, every day, even if it's something as simple as journaling, when you do get to those points where you have writer's block, it's a bit easier to stop, come back to it, and then continue doing that because you've already had that system and you've exercised the muscle. So I remember immediately the time of my life where I was at when filming that episode. And it was recently graduating because we didn't really have a graduation in 2020 because it was the COVID year. Shout out to all the COVID graduates, the 2020 ones. But it was an interesting time in my life because I was now getting into teaching. I had just finished laying the groundwork for my first book, Us, a collection of our stories, thoughts, and dreams. I was excited. Still I'm excited for the future. But it was such a time in my life, and it was good to reconnect with you guys on a personal level as well as on a business level, so to speak. So it was good. It's just good memories from that time. I'll start with Drewbiski. My favorite memory is sitting down watching you play harp in 2K, not saying anything, but whooping his ass. I'm not allowed to say ass, but whooping his ass. And he's sitting down rage, and you know Harp had the full ante, he got up steam. How is that a foul? Like, Harp was, and you just sat there, smiled, and just continued playing. And I was like, that sums up like so much of who you are, in the sense of such a calm and peaceful soul, but at the same time criminally underrated and good at so many things. Now Q. Cute. So I've had the pleasure of interacting with both of you in different capacities because I was your RA, and then we lived together, and then we worked together. So we played. It was so many different hats. Q. I'll never forget living in the townhouses, coming back to townhouse H 102, walking into the apartment, and you're in your room, right? And the thing is like you're in your room and you're on the phone. And it's obvious that you're on the phone with a woman. The way this boy was macking, like just, I'm telling you, he's slow, descriptive. I said, oh, snap, I'm gonna just head straight to my room, right? So I tuck into my room, I come back outside. Q walks out with this huge smile on my face, and I was like, yo, how was your day, man? It sounded like you just had a great phone call. He was like, it was, player, and just kept walking. And again, that for me is one of them things that sums up just the individual that you are. It's not a lot of words being thrown at you, but when it is thrown at you, it's impactful, and it's like you speak with authority, and you're a pretty smooth guy in the way you carry yourself as well. So I feel like my moments encapsulated a lot about who you guys were, and what I see remains to be true all these years later. Ooh, actually, let me sit for a second, because I have about 3 or 4 answers that I could say that inspire me, but I think my ultimate inspiration comes from my relationship with God, and understanding how everything that I write, it's Him directing my pen and He's speaking through me. So that's where that ultimate inspiration comes from. But I find inspiration in my everyday. Maybe it's something as simple as being on the LIRR going to work and just looking at the sunrise, or looking at someone sit down and enjoy their coffee, or even the steam rising from my own tea in the morning. So inspiration comes in many different forms, and also especially the conversations that I have with the people that are near and dear to me.